The Boostcamp is a 12-week proof of concept program using customer development methodologies, which gives the entrepreneur the opportunity to use their customers to actually help them build their solution.
When the startups and the entrepreneurs come in here, they really gravitate towards the mentors to speak with them and to share information with them.
So I think mentorship is just super important to help keep you motivated and keep you accountable.
We had a meeting with Russell and that was super helpful. He helped us narrow in on our goals and how to best organize those goals and how to break them down and assign them and give them due dates.
As mentors, we've been able to provide them with connection opportunities that they may not have had otherwise. And I also think that owners are challenged to just have a group of people that they can bounce things off of in a safe environment. And so we've been able to provide that here at Boostcamp.
I would say our biggest challenge was actually figuring out who to talk to and what to ask them. The big issue we had was are we actually going into this product line with something that people need?
An important thing that Boostcamp delivers is the community and kind of the peer accountability. So everyone gets together, we hear each other's problems and victories and get to share in that and learn from each other.
You have the mentors push you. We were just in the discussion a little bit ago about, well, how many new interviews are we going to have this week? I said 2. 2? How about 7? Okay, so they're pushing us. So accountability is probably the biggest advantage we have.
One of the hardest things when you're working in a startup is it's really just you. You don't have a boss. You don't have people telling you, you have to do this, you need to do this. So it can be really easy to go down bunny trails or to work on things that aren't the most important to work on.
Get away from your desk, get outside your room, talk to customers. Talk to customers, talk to customers. And that is the hardest thing for entrepreneurs to do.
Business is all about its customers, so I think that's basically what this program has been about, is getting out, talking to your customers.
It was interesting. I think when we all started this program, we were all really scared of going out and talking to the customer. And I remember going out and being rejected. You know, customers were saying, well, I don't see it. I don't see what you were doing. And but to be able to come back to the group and to talk with everybody else and then kind of pivot and understand that I was in the wrong market segment, I had to shift over to here. That's a huge thing I learned from Boostcamp.
Growth can be both continue building out the platform or get new customers or more interviews, or even for our standpoint, growth is understanding that we overbuilt too early and pulling back from that.
I look at growth in two different perspectives. So there's growth of the companies, which is easy to measure. How are your sales? How many customers do you have? What's your team size? And that's pretty straightforward. But there's also growth of the individual and the growth of these founders. So most of these teams, it's their first company. And they are setting out on this lifestyle of being an entrepreneur for the very first time.
Boostcamp has kind of gotten us, or at least me, re-engaged in the project and seeing the light that, there's opportunity out there and how to go about doing that and not just kind of assuming we know what the market's going to be like.
Having built a company and then being very narrowed and focused in on that, even with an idea, it's sometimes hard to get a outside perspective or to stop and look from an outside perspective. So having any mentors, have business backgrounds, being able to critically look at your business from an outside perspective has been a big help as well.
I think about all these areas of the business, over the past few years, and we'll probably work on this, and we'll talk to these people, and we'll find our users through this channel. But I didn't know the words to apply to those, or really how to structure and order those. Just as you were saying about looking at the business versus the product, to have sort of the bird's eye view and how the focus flows and the hypotheses flow, that was really relieving.
It's really easy to be in your own head and to have your own ideas about what you should be doing and what's important, and sometimes you can get really down into the weeds, and it helps to have somebody who's looking at this from a fresh perspective or who only gets to see it once a week, and they kind of pull you out of there help you look at what's important, what's the next steps.
For those that are on that cusp of like, this would be a really cool idea, like this is where you come to do the action, or at least give you a good roadmap so you can give yourself something actionable so that what was once in your head is now real.
You got two big human things. You got passion.
Yeah.
You got this idea you really want to take forward, and then you got all these fears that are holding you back. And you're trying to balance passion and fear, and this is the perfect place where you get the support to take your passion forward.
I think that by the end of it, we all understand something about each other as founders. Like, we all understand the risk that we have to take sometimes, and perhaps it's not as risky as, oh, I'm quitting my job, but like there is those like, we have those growing moments.
When you're actually teaching somebody and telling them like suggestions on what you should be doing, and then actually seeing them do it, but also see the results that and the benefits they gain from just changing this little piece of advice that you gave them, right? That is one of the most rewarding things, to see startups make small little changes as a result to some of the experience that you've had, and see just amazing growth.
I'm excited for each of these teams, primarily because of these founders and what they're going to do for the community, what they're going to do over time. Because they're getting into the world of entrepreneurship and they're going to be hooked.
Nobody else is doing what we're doing in terms of the sustainability aspect. So learning that that's one of our greatest strengths, and that only happened through talking to people, which we might not have done if not for Boostcamp.
I think Boostcamp is a very appropriate name for it, because in a way, like, we are all in boot camp, and like, they sometimes have these challenges that you can only get through teamwork. And I think that doing this together in somewhere called Boostcamp, where we're trying to all boost each other up the best that we can, but also being brutally honest at the same time, it's something that's pretty special.
What's on the line? Their job, their livelihood, and their personal goals are on the line.
Boostcamp is really ideal for entrepreneurs that have products or services or technologies, and they're either in ideation stage or they have not yet really found a product market fit.
I think this is a wonderful resource for our community here in Holland, especially through Lakeshore Advantage and SURGE. And so I'd be so excited if Boostcamp can continue. So thank you for the opportunity, and we really hope it continues to thrive.